A coronial inquest in Hastings has heard that there were no health and safety rules for toilet repairs at a Napier school, where a 9-year-old boy died after trying to escape from a cubicle with no handles. Aryan Banerjee died of accidental strangulation after his shirt got caught on a window latch as he tried to climb out of the cubicle at Taradale Primary School in May last year. He died in hospital 3 months later. Our reporter Tim Graham has been at the hearing and joins us now from the Hastings District Court.
Sharon, the court today heard from several witnesses about the death of Aryan Banerjee, who was inadvertently locked in a toilet cubicle at Taradale School in Napier in May of last year. He tried to escape. The toilet had no gap at the bottom of the door, so he tried to escape out of the toilet window, but unfortunately a piece of his clothing caught itself on the window latch, and he was later found hanging by his shirt out of the bathroom window. His father, Anjan Banerjee, was at the inquest today in Hastings, and he told me about the toll that all of this has taken on the family.
It's been very difficult. It relives memories that were very painful and still are, but it allows us to go through everything and hopefully gain some more closure.
Was there anything new that you heard today that has emerged from this coroner's inquest that is a new piece of information to the family?
I think when Mr. Hampton went through the WorkSafe report and looked in depth at what they'd done, it found that there were some significant gaps in the research that they'd done, and that their brief was too tight. They were looking at specifically Aryan's injuries as a consequence of what happened, as opposed to looking at the steps that led to that. So being entrapped in the room, that was the most important thing. What could have been done to stop him from being entrapped in the room? But without that, without looking at just his end injuries, if the WorkSafe was coming to the right idea, but then because of the final injuries that he had, that he died, they felt that they couldn't prosecute at that time.
What about the caretaker's steps in all of this? What did you make of his evidence today?
Well, I didn't know that he'd worked in other industries in the past, so I didn't know that he worked at a shopping mall. So he seemed to know what the rules of health and safety were there, but it seemed to go out of all proportion when he came to the school. He seemed to forget that you need to put out cones or put out any kind of protection when dealing with a door handle. He took off the whole door handle, and then he left the door open, and he didn't tell anyone. How can you do that? How can you overlook the simple, practical steps to protect people from a door that you can't open?
Were you surprised to hear him admit the school didn't have any health and safety protocols around bathroom repairs of this sort of nature then and now?
I'm surprised that there's still nothing there. When we were looking at what happened to Aryan, I went through everything quite carefully, and I did find that there were no specifics in the Ministry of Health guidelines for minor repairs around the schools. So there is a big gap there that the Ministry has to look at and review. It's interesting that their latest review of the buildings says that there should be full doors on all toilets. And I wonder, after this, really? Full doors?
The school admitted today that it still has, I think, 3 or 4 bathroom doors that don't have gaps at the bottom of them, although they have done some replacement work. There is about 3 or 4 that still don't. Is that good enough for you?
No. They should fix those doors.
So where to from here? You've had a day-long hearing in the coroner's court. What next for the family?
Well, we'll have to wait for the coroner's response, and then we'll need to concentrate on us and moving forward. Arian's always going to be in our lives, and that's one thing that we'll never forget. We'll never forget him, but we have to move on now.
Have you ever received an apology from the school, and would you like one?
I think in many ways the school has apologised. They've also been very supportive. But at the same time, because the coroner's inquest was hanging over them, I think that's why we haven't had an apology as yet. This is the first time I'd met the caretaker, and I don't think I was really prepared for that.
There has also been reports of the family taking a private prosecution in the case. Where does that now sit?
Unfortunately, with it, we're beyond the statute of limitations on that. So there is no chance for a private prosecution.
Tim, the principal of Taradale Primary, Marty Hance, was in court today. What did he have to say, and what changes has the school made to toilet doors since Arian's death?
Well, Sharon, the school says it has got some lightweight doors that it's now put in with a gap at the bottom of sort of 30 centimetres or so, so should children get locked into the toilets inadvertently, they are able to escape. They don't need to go for the window, as Arian Banerjee did. Apparently the Ministry of Education prefers full-length doors on toilets at schools for privacy reasons. However, WorkSafe at the inquest today said it does support stall doors with this gap at the bottom, especially for younger children. And the principal, Marty Hance, under cross-examination today, did admit that it was unacceptable to have left this toilet door without a handle at Taradale School last year, which of course led to the death of Arian Banerjee.
And that's our reporter Tim Graham in Hastings.